1. Which of the following best represents the purpose of the Predictive Index Behavioral Assessment in workplace learning? A. To measure IQ levels. B. To identify behavioral drives influencing work style. C. To test technical knowledge. D. To validate legal compliance. 2. When using PI behavioral assessment results in curriculum design, what principle should guide the process? A. Standardization across all learners. B. Adapting methods to behavioral tendencies. C. Ignoring individual learning styles. D. Relying solely on lecture-based delivery. 3. Which adult learning principle aligns most with using PI data to foster engagement? A. Adults prefer rote memorization. B. Adults bring prior experiences to learning. C. Adults learn best without context. D. Adults require limited self-direction. 4. In mentoring relationships, how can PI assessment results enhance the process? A. By highlighting mismatched communication styles. B. By assigning identical tasks to all mentees. C. By discouraging individual growth. D. By removing goal-setting discussions. 5. Which communication approach is best supported by the Predictive Index framework? A. Tailoring messages to align with behavioral drives. B. Standardizing all team communication. C. Avoiding adaptation of messages. D. Relying on technical jargon exclusively. 6. When evaluating training programs using PI insights, which method is most effective? A. Quantitative-only data collection. B. Linking behavioral drives to learning outcomes. C. Ignoring learner behavior. D. Focusing solely on completion rates. 7. Which regulatory compliance factor must organizations consider when using PI behavioral assessments? A. Ensuring assessments are voluntary and non-discriminatory. B. Making assessments mandatory for all roles. C. Sharing assessment results publicly. D. Linking assessment directly to compensation. 8. What is one benefit of integrating PI behavioral data into performance evaluation systems? A. Encouraging bias in rating. B. Clarifying role alignment with natural tendencies. C. Eliminating feedback sessions. D. Relying on subjective impressions only. 9. Which of the following reflects a limitation of relying too heavily on PI behavioral assessments? A. They provide no data on leadership drives. B. They cannot replace holistic evaluation of employees. C. They measure only technical skills. D. They disregard communication preferences. 10. Which mentoring strategy best incorporates PI insights? A. Matching mentors and mentees based on complementary behavioral profiles. B. Assigning mentors randomly. C. Avoiding behavioral considerations. D. Using PI results to create identical mentoring paths. 11. When designing adult training using PI results, which instructional method is most effective? A. Role play for socially driven learners. B. Silent reading for all participants. C. Eliminating practice opportunities. D. One-way lectures for every learner. 12. In curriculum development, how does PI behavioral data support instructional design? A. By aligning teaching methods with behavioral motivators. B. By ignoring differences in learner styles. C. By standardizing lesson plans universally. D. By excluding behavioral data from planning. 13. What is the main value of PI assessments in communication training? A. Understanding how drives influence messaging and reception. B. Replacing active listening techniques. C. Eliminating written communication. D. Standardizing verbal communication styles. 14. Which evaluation method best measures the effectiveness of using PI in leadership programs? A. Pre- and post-assessment linked to observed behavior changes. B. Counting the number of participants only. C. Ignoring behavioral baselines. D. Evaluating solely through anecdotal feedback. 15. When interpreting PI data, which ethical principle should guide HR professionals? A. Confidentiality and informed consent. B. Mandatory disclosure to all staff. C. Ignoring privacy rights. D. Linking results to disciplinary action. 16. Which regulatory guideline applies when administering PI behavioral assessments? A. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission standards. B. Universal Standard IQ testing. C. Mandatory psychological diagnoses. D. Exclusive use for promotion decisions. 17. Which adult learning principle is reinforced when using PI data to design personalized training? A. Relevance to job roles. D. Standardized content regardless of needs. C. Dependence on teacher-only authority. D. Passive learning without feedback. 18. How should organizations integrate PI results into mentoring programs? A. By customizing developmental activities around mentee strengths. B. By requiring identical paths for all mentees. C. By ignoring mentor-mentee dynamics. D. By removing goal alignment discussions. 19. Which curriculum design factor is most influenced by PI behavioral results? A. Choice of learning activities. B. Classroom furniture layout. C. Break schedule length. D. Textbook printing style. 20. What role does PI play in organizational communication training? A. Identifying differences in influence and dominance drives. B. Standardizing tone for all employees. C. Removing communication flexibility. D. Limiting communication to written forms. 21. Which of the following is an example of using PI in evaluation methods? A. Comparing learner engagement against their behavioral tendencies. B. Counting participants without context. C. Ignoring behavior-driven data. D. Using identical rubrics for all learners. 22. When aligning PI results with regulatory compliance, what is essential? A. Avoiding discriminatory practices in hiring and training. B. Making results mandatory for promotion. C. Sharing PI reports with third-party vendors. D. Excluding candidates based on one result. 23. Which mentoring outcome is most improved by PI behavioral insights? A. Stronger alignment of communication preferences. B. Elimination of learning objectives. C. Universal role assignments. D. Random pairing of participants. 24. How can PI data support leadership curriculum development? A. By aligning leadership exercises with behavioral strengths. B. By mandating identical activities. C. By ignoring differences in drives. D. By standardizing every training outcome. 25. Which adult learning concept is emphasized by PI-driven instruction? A. Learner self-direction. B. Teacher authority dominance. C. Passive reception of knowledge. D. Memorization without context. 26. When using PI for evaluation, what combination is most effective? A. Quantitative metrics plus behavioral alignment analysis. B. Anecdotes without measurement. C. Ignoring feedback forms. D. Using only attendance rates. 27. Which compliance area can be violated if PI is improperly used? A. Employment discrimination laws. B. Equipment safety rules. C. Tax reporting regulations. D. Building code requirements. 28. How does PI assist in fostering team communication? A. By identifying collaboration versus dominance preferences. B. By ignoring interpersonal differences. C. By standardizing communication tone. D. By reducing team interactions. 29. In adult learning, why is behavioral data like PI valuable? A. It links motivation to instructional design. B. It eliminates the need for feedback. C. It standardizes learner experiences. D. It discourages contextual relevance. 30. How can mentors use PI in guiding career development? A. By aligning coaching with the mentee's motivational drives. B. By offering identical advice to all. C. By discouraging goal setting. D. By ignoring behavioral results. 31. Which instructional strategy reflects PI's contribution to curriculum design? A. Collaborative projects for dominance-driven learners. B. Uniform lecture-only methods. C. Memorization exercises for all. D. Ignoring learner preferences. 32. When assessing training program effectiveness, which evaluation best leverages PI? A. Measuring observed changes in role-fit behavior. B. Counting only course completions. C. Ignoring motivation and drive. D. Using only anecdotal stories. 33. Which communication training outcome is directly supported by PI results? A. Improved adaptation to diverse communication preferences. B. Elimination of flexible communication. C. Standardization of tone for all. D. Exclusive reliance on written instruction. 34. Which instructional design model benefits most from incorporating PI data? A. ADDIE, by integrating behavioral insights into design phases. B. Bloom's taxonomy, without modification. C. Kirkpatrick's model, without application. D. Maslow's hierarchy, unrelated to learning design. 35. When applying PI to team mentoring, which pairing is most effective? A. Complementary behavioral strengths to maximize collaboration. B. Random assignment without analysis. C. Pairing identical profiles only. D. Ignoring drives completely. 36. In evaluation, which level of Kirkpatrick's framework is most enhanced by PI behavioral assessment? A. Level 3, behavior change. B. Level 1, reaction only. C. Level 2, learning only. D. Level 4, results only.